No, you totally rock it. Okay, hey, all right, what's up? Yay,
Bro,
the
yo,
elusive mindset, back from journeys afar.
the elusive for sure.
Yeah,
Yep,
man. So you toured.
kinda. Um, I'm playing actually my first headlining show in North Carolina next Saturday. I'm hyped for
Oh,
that.
is that the one that you're playing with Jacob? Jacob is here too.
Trenton.
Okay, Jacob's playing in Trenton with you.
Oh, word. Yeah, that's gonna be fun as shit.
Yeah,
Yo, what up?
Jacob here. I don't know if you guys have met, but this is Jacob. He is also a an up and coming student on the the class of 808
What up,
program.
man?
But yeah, he's crushing it. He's been hanging out with me lots since I made the move. It's been good vibes.
Word. Yeah, how's the move been?
I mean, it's moving. It sucks, but I'm in my own place now, which is cool.
Yeah, that's straight.
So yeah, so I got internet and everything. Still waiting on my speakers to get here, but Jacob was nice enough to lend me his Adams and his push and sound card and stuff. So
That's
soon,
awesome.
soon, now that I
Yeah.
have an address and start.
Yeah, are you in New York City or are you in like?
No, I'm right near where the other studio was, next to the Lincoln.
Oh, word.
Hall. Yeah,
That's nice.
the Lincoln.
What
Hall.
Yeah. What made you go with New York? I remember the last time we talked, you said that you were thinking LA too.
Well, the studio, getting to use that studio that we wrote is in.
Yeah.
I can walk
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
So I'm gonna be using that a lot. I'm still getting internet at the studio and everything. 'Cause, we were gonna maybe move the studio, but we're keeping it where it was. So
Yeah.
I gotta get internet in the studio. But yeah, then I'm gonna start doing fucking live streams from that studio, which would be crazy.
And that'd be insane.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So I mean, still in progress, but yeah, it'd be pretty fun. I think so. So I'm gonna do at least 7 months here, make a record.
Yeah, and then where to after that?
I'm gonna go nomad again for a bit, and yeah, I think we're like, cause I mean, I got the second album of 2017 coming out, and then I figure like, cause given the travel theme of the two albums, that I'm gonna do like an international tour, go to Asia and Europe and Australia and Africa and stuff.
That's dope.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. Life is good. Life is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, on to the next adventure, I suppose. Definitely gonna miss my house though. We had that place kitted out. Like there's just fucking art everywhere. Just so fun. But
Yeah.
now I'm in a big empty white room.
I mean, it won't be like empty and white for too long though.
No. Well, I don't think we're gonna get too crazy here because we're moving again.
Oh yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see how we go.
Yeah.
It's pretty echoey and stuff. So I got some sound treatment coming today.
That's cool.
Yeah. So you got a track for me to check out?
Yeah. It's gonna be the track we're going over. I actually went through my SoundCloud yesterday and deleted like all of my old projects because like I don't know why. It was kind of dumb, honestly. But so yeah, I have to just upload the reference real quick, which is uploading right now. This should work. All right.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna go get a coffee. I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, you're good.
Oh, it smells like pizza. They're starting to take a while to heat up, but then they don't cool down ever. Yeah, they're hot for the rest of their life. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see it all good. Some delicious cold brew. Oh, how is that stuff for real? Oh, it's great. Yeah, just you don't pour like a big cup of it. Wait, because you gotta water it down, right? Yeah, a little bit. I think I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, cold brew, getting jacked. Okay, cool. All right, so did your track upload?
Yeah. I just did. I'm gonna share it real quick.
Sweet dog. All right, so I'm probably going to just open loop back and then just mute my mic for a bit. So that way I can listen to the track on the actual studio monitors because I don't have the Magic headphones here yet.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah. So okay, cool. So there we go.
Damn, yeah, dude. The project is at a fucking standstill. Like, it hasn't really moved much since we've been on the video chat.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, damn. Not me in school. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. It's like more than halfway. It says 11 minutes, but it's been saying 11 minutes since before we got on. So,
All right, here, I'm going to kill my microphone so that I can listen to the track, okay? So,
it's, oh, okay. You good?
No words on, no words on, no words on, no words on.
very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so it says remix practice. What does that mean?
Yeah. So it's a remix of a track, and it says practice because it's not finished, but it's like I can practice playing with it. You know what I mean? Like if I want to like practice DJing, so like I just name my shit random.
So what's it a remix of? And what parts are from the remix?
Honestly, all right. So I've been talking to Dustin about this a lot. I've been thinking about not calling it a remix because the only thing that I use from the original song is the Fresh as Hell No Stun, and it's from their song. And they asked me to remix a track off their EP. They sent me it, and the one I was only like really liked it for that vocal, and I liked like this one synth that I didn't even
the
use.
original vocal, or did they sample it?
They sampled it.
Yeah, fuck that then.
Yeah, I've been thinking about even just ditching the vocal and just like, cause I don't use anything from like the
Yeah, 'cause
original.
it sounds like it's not a remix and it's not practice. So
Yeah, and so yeah, that's actually part of the reason why I'm so stuck too. Because if there was more parts of the original that like it's a remix, so like usually remixes are pretty easy for me, but I've made this pretty much like original. Like it's everything's my own, and it's just like I don't use any like if you heard the two tracks, you'd be like, what the fuck? These are the
okay,
song.
and the remix is it's like a Simba and D's track.
Yeah,
Okay, so Simba's your homie that you collaborate on that
Yeah.
other track, right?
yeah.
Okay, so is he gonna be bummed that it's not a remix?
I mean, no, he loves it. Like they both love it, but I'm at the point where it's like I've been thinking about it a lot, and I'm like, dude, I kind of want to just like not call it a remix because it's not really a remix. But then it's like,
I mean, you got to start thinking about your EP for producer Dojo too. You know.
yeah. So I don't know. That's that. I mean, I'm just like kind of stuck in the last drop because like the first drop is like a patch I made on my Moog, and I don't want to use that drop again because I felt like the drop comes out of nowhere. You know what I mean? It's pretty like damn.
Yeah, the arrangement really needs a lot of work.
Yeah, I don't want to reuse that drop again in the second half. But then, like, everything I've been doing for the second half is just a letdown from the first half. You know what I mean? So that's why I've been, like, so stuck on it. And it's, like, I also, like, started that a bit ago and just never finished it. And then it's, like, I got to the point where I just kind of want to finish it so it's, like, I don't never have to look at it again, you know?
Yeah, I would just, like, make bigger build-ups
Yeah.
into that drop. and then probably just make it like if you're really sick of it, there's nothing wrong with making a track that's like 2.5 minutes long, 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I was aiming for.
Because that's long enough that you can play in a DJ set.
Yeah, it would more so just like keeping it fresh and moving, because like I had this one version originally that was like all done, but like the second drop just sucked. Like it just wasn't good at all. Like the first, I really like the patch in the first drop, but the second, I couldn't make a better patch. You know what I mean, for the second drop. And then it's like, all right, do I want to do like some 808 stuff? Like I could get trippy with some 808s, and then it's like, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. But even then, it's like that sounds like more so the first drop, what I now have versus.
Well, because their drop is it's like a pretty sweet drop. It's just like the way it happens out of nowhere is a bit funny.
Yeah.
And then I don't think you really need to make it like a super long track.
Yeah.
And but here, check this out. Oh shit!
Damn, that's fresh.
Yeah, that's gonna be the logo for the label. I just made that today, so it's like a modified.
Wait, you made that?
Well, I modified the producer DJ logo to be producer.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah, dude, that's dope.
Yeah, so that's your new record label, bud.
Yeah.
All right. So so you got to start thinking about what your EP is gonna be, right?
Yeah.
And for the EP. If you want, you could re-release, either of the tracks that you put out. But you need to have at least one track on the EP that's going to be like track 1 that is the star of the fucking show. Oh, fuck. Okay, I've been waiting for Universal Audio to call me back all day, and they finally.
Yo, if you want, here, redo this, because it's my You can answer that.
I gotta answer this, man. I've been waiting.
Yeah,
I broke Ryan's sound card yesterday.
Yeah, you're good.
Hey, how's it going? Hi, hey, how you doing? I'm actually, this is not a good time, but I know you guys are closing soon. Is there any way, like I'm in the Eastern time zone, is there any way that I can talk to you after 6 p.m. Eastern? No. Okay. Okay, so basically, I was at this really, really nice studio, and they had an Apollo 16, but they had no internet access. So I came in with my satellite, and I plugged my satellite in, and I couldn't run it until I went on the Wi-Fi. So I connected the Wi-Fi to my phone, and I got some kind of a UAD prompt, and then I clicked yes. And then basically, it registered the studio's Apollo 16 to my account. So then I just recently got it switched back, but to the studio owner. But the problem is, whenever I do the Apollo 16, for some reason, the outputs on the Apollo 16 in the mixing app don't connect to the actual physical outputs of the sound card. So I reinitialized the Apollo, and I did the reset for it. And then I also reinstalled the software, uninstalled and reinstalled the software from scratch. But for some reason, even though I can see levels in the console software, and I've tried every setting and I read the entire manual, I cannot, for the life of me, get sound to come out from the console application to the actual physical outputs on the sound card. And I know they're connected right because it used to work until I did this reset. And whenever I go to the input-output matrix, for some reason, I don't know what, is there a way that the monitor mix could not be connected to outputs 1 and 2? Because I tried going in the input-output matrix and connect them, and it's just this total nightmare. I was sitting there for 3 hours with the guy who runs the studio looking at me going, you broke my Apollo 16, buddy. This sucks. So what do I do? Yes, I can see the metering, and I can see it in the console application. No, it's connected to this Presonus. It's connected to this Presonus output monitoring thing, and I'm not seeing any level come in there. And then if I go into the control room, if I copy the control room to outputs 1 and 2, I get screaming feedback that actually comes out the speakers. So I know that outputs 1 and 2 are connected to the speakers, and there's some kind of a software glitch inside the console application that is making it so I can't use this Apollo 16. Yes, yes, please. Okay, I mean, I have given Universal Audio thousands and thousands of dollars. Okay, I could maybe do tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, so here, well, yeah, I'll give you my email. mgmt@illgates.com. mgmt@illgates.com. But yeah, because the troubleshooting on the website, I was not able to do it. Like I followed all the steps on the website, and I just couldn't get the console application to actually output out the outputs of the sound card. It's maddening. I'm just trying to get the monitor mix of the console application to come out the outputs of the sound card. That's all I'm trying to do. Yes, and I reset the whole thing, and I tried putting it to the default routing, and it does not come out. And it's the UAD 9.1, and the UAD 9.1 updated the firmware on the Apollo 16. illgats.com. Well, there's two emails. There's the studio owner who got it on it. Yeah. So hey, I'm actually like live on YouTube right now with a student. Like I'm doing a live stream, so this is like it really couldn't be a worse time to call. But if you please email me those things. Okay. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a crisis. Like this is a real deal studio, and I totally I hosed their Apollo 16. I'll be a fucking asshole. Okay, cool. And with who am I speaking again? Dave. Okay, great. Thank you so much, Dave. Okay, take care. Okay, sorry about that, dude. That was like, I was waiting all day for that fucking phone call. Universal Audio, I love them, but their support sucks.
Damn.
Like, it is like, I called them and I waited on hold for 15 minutes, and then they're like, we'll call you back. And that was like an hour and a half ago. And they just called me back, and it's like, you know, I'm asking for support on a fucking $3,000 sound card running $4,000 worth of their software, and they can't fucking call me because the shit doesn't work when you initialize it. Like, what the fuck?
That's crazy.
Yeah, really annoying. Anyway, thank you for your patience. I fucked, like Ryan can't even make sound in the studio because of this thing. So,
damn.
Yeah, he's pretty upset. So hopefully Universal Audio will fix it. Because yeah, the sound card's incredible, but
yeah,
it's just something's up where it's not routing the audio at the outputs. But anyway, okay, cool. So yeah, so for that track, man, I would say, you know, the main thing is to just make like a bigger build up to the drop, you know, and make it like you know, just make more of a big deal about when it comes in. And then if you want to like extend it and have a second drop, you could, but you could, you know, it could be just as good as like a shorter track. But for the EP, you need to have like you can have some deeper cuts and some shorter beats and some re-releases on it if you want, but you need to have, if you're going to do any re-releases, it's got to be like 2/3 new stuff.
Yeah.
And you also need to have like whatever the star of the show is has to be new. So you need to have at least pretty much like 2 tracks that are like brand new, A side, like A grade fucking heaters. And then, you know, you could put a couple shorter beats on or some deeper cuts or some re-releases or whatever, but you need to have at least 2 that are just fucking like fire, like the best tracks you've ever made.
I feel that. All right. Yeah. I definitely don't. Well, I mean, this is my opinion right now on it. Well, I don't think I want to have any re-releases. I think I wanted to try to like make like, you know what I mean? The goal is to do all new stuff. But I mean, if it comes together and it looks like adding a song that's already out would make it stronger, then I would.
Yeah.
But that's, I guess, the goal. And then I guess my goal, because like for the February album month, I took that pretty seriously, but it, like the end of January when I found out about it, into February, I took it pretty seriously, and then like I kind of like stopped kind of taking it really seriously because I started like focusing on tracks, kind of like the tracks that I had, and making them as good as possible, and then so that went out the window. But I really wanted to like really dive into that in May because the rest of the month I have a couple shows coming up, and so I'm trying to just like the rest of the month, I'm not trying to play any shows next month, and I don't know what my schedule is like for June. But I'm just trying to like make music for the next couple months, and then like hopefully by the end of summer, like hopefully by like July 20th, I wrote that date down. That's like the date when I want to have like some sort of idea, like of a better understanding of like where this is at. You know what I mean? Like what I want to add to it, what I want to take away, what I need to do.
Yeah, and that's because realistically, right? May is the last month before summer that you want to release anything.
Yeah.
June, July, August is a terrible time.
Yeah, I know.
Anything that counts. So, you know, realistically, it'd be like September, October for any other EPs. Like Dustin, we're gonna do Dustin's EP in May. Like that's I think off to mastering already. So Dustin's is in May, and then Mitch has one ready. And Sean has one almost ready. And then Jack, like Moonsplatter, has one ready, I believe, too. Okay. So I don't want to do more than one a month. Yeah. So you have time, you know, like, because there's already like 4 people in line. So it'll be like May, then September, October, November. So realistically, we're looking at like December, January.
All right.
I would recommend January, too, because if you put stuff out in December, gets lost in the holiday fucking craziness, and then also in like a month it's got last year's date on it.
Yeah, all right, that makes sense. Sense.
So but I mean getting it ready so that you have like a pretty kind of clear idea for July is good, because I mean shit always takes longer than you think it's going to with albums. So I think aiming for July is good. And then, you know, four tracks is kind of like the magic number for an EP. I kind of don't recommend putting out too many more than that. Like if you're going to put out a couple short ones that are like, you know, 2 minutes long or whatever, then that would make sense to have like 5 or 6 and still call it an EP. But, you know, once you start getting up to like an EP should be about like 15 to 20 minutes of music.
Yeah. Okay.
So if your tracks are really short, then, you know, maybe put more of them. But then, you know, an album, you want to have at least like 10 cuts on an album, really.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean by cuts? Just 10 tracks or like 10 like
10 tracks, like they're solid, you know? And then like, because you could have like skits or beats or interludes or whatever that are in there too. But you want to have like, that's generally the minimum is like 10 tracks for an album.
All right. Yeah, I feel that. Makes sense.
Well, yeah, so like, I mean, this track is pretty much done. You know, you just need to get the shit out of the way, spread it out a bit longer, make more of a build up, you know, make like all the actual ingredients for the track to be finished. Like you don't need to come up with any any
So
more ideas really. You just need some more effects processing and some more like those little one shot like glitch edits that come in and stuff are really nice. Could possibly use a bit of like the main plink noise could possibly use a bit of the bubble delay trick like in the second half, you know?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Stuff like that, like just like little effects tweaks and stuff that are going to make it feel like it's progressing and like make everything feel like it's moving. Another thing that I find really makes a track feel a lot more complete is when you have a non-retriggering LFO on some stuff. Because like if you have the LFO retriggering, it means that the initial transient of the sound is the same every time. But like, let's say you have a hi-hat and there's like a little bit of LFO to the pitch, or like a little bit of LFO to the pan or whatever. It makes it yeah, so each hit is like slightly different, or like a little bit of LFO on the delay time, something like that. It makes it so like each one's a bit different. And just the fact that it's not like a straight repetition, you know, or like some people will take a snare, right, and they'll put on the drum cell of the snare, they'll put like 3 or 4 snares that are the same, and then a random MIDI plug-in that just cycles between the 3 or 4 of them randomly, so each one is like slightly fucking different.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of drum kits are like that. Like you get like a really nice drum kit that like someone spent like a fucking week on in Kontakt.
Yeah.
You know, all the hits are like that, and then like I don't know, it just makes things feel a lot less repetitive and a lot more like finished sounding.
Yeah.
So, you know, it could use a couple little tricks like that, you know, and then a bit of a bigger build up. But like, yeah, the project file is not uploaded yet, is it?
Nah, I was gonna say when you're on the phone, we should have just hung up this video chat and you should have invited me again because it's still at 11 minutes.
The video is going to be all awkward.
Oh yeah, then yeah, I honestly do not think this will upload. Like it's at 11 minutes with 678 megabytes.
Okay, here I'll just make a beat then and just show you a couple of these little things.
All right.
Okay. All right. So okay, cool. Oh wait, this is a D&B beat, so I should let's try this different snare. Okay, so now go in like okay, so let's make an audio track. Okay, so let's take audio from this. So take these snares. All right, take one of them here. Just crop that. All right, and then we can put like whatever on it to add some variation, right?
Yeah.
So we could have one of them be like that. Maybe one of them. Next one will start like a little bit later. Let's try and find a zero crossing. Let's do it there. See if that's a little softer. Okay, let's crop that. And this one maybe a couple cents up. I'm gonna sample it again. Okay, and then we'll get like here. Let's see. Let's do one without the reverb. Okay, so these could be any variations. I'm just going to use those for now, right? But one way of adding variation is you get your 4 sounds, right? And then you can go into here. I'll turn this into a sampler, right? You go into the zone. Here, I'll take this compressor off. Turn that off for now. Okay, so now we got one there, one there, one there, one there. Oh, I got to take off the scale so that it doesn't pitch them. Okay, so then if I go in and take a MIDI effect, put a random here, right? So I'm going to say choice is going to be 4 in the additive direction, right? So now watch, you'll see this MIDI thing. It's going to be, anytime you hit that drum pad, hang on, it's cool. All right, so here I'll normalize all these. Normalize the volumes, there we go. Right, so you can see how it's cycling randomly between these 4 drum hits.
Yeah.
Right, so you can, oh, gotta go 3 choices. Right, so you can do that with different snares and different hits, right? You typically would do that with like when you're making a drum kit. You'd sample someone hitting the actual drum 4 different times because there's going to be subtle variations in the way the stick is hitting the skin.
Yeah.
Right, but you could do that with drums, or like you could have maybe have like this one be not velocity responsive, and then you could have like another one where, like, let's say shake. So I got the shaker. So I'm gonna find a shaker. Okay, so let's say we could take this shaker sound, right, and that'll be on all 4 of them, but it'll be like a crossfade, so that only the top one gets a lot of shaker.
Okay.
Right? And then, so this shaker, actually here, let's see, let's turn the voices up. I think I have turn the voices up. Yeah, okay. I'll make sure that the shaker is playing. Yeah, see, so I'm going to sample. Normalize volume. So you see how like the bottom one, you know, is like, when it hits that bottom one, or you can even make the bottom one no shaker.
Okay.
Right? Like that. And these little fades in the ranges, right? That'll make it so the shaker is like slightly different. So you get the shaker sometimes, and then you get like a quieter shaker another time, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes, like after I've made a drum kit, I'll go in and I'll put in a bunch of these little variations that will make it like move a bit. So other things you can do, let's go into the hi-hat. Yes, like this hi-hat, right? If we go into the controls, if you put the LFO on and you put it just a fucking little to the pitch, you know? I'll do it.
Mm-hmm.
So you hear that movement, you're going to turn that down. You don't really want to hear too much of it, right? But you put a tiny bit. And it just makes it so that they're not all exactly the same, right? You could also put a tiny bit to pan or other parameters. And then I find too like a random waveform, because that's like a sample hold, so it's not the same each time. And then if you turn it into a sampler, right, you get some more advanced options here. So here you could say, send the velocity to be like any number of these things. Like it could be like, you could send the velocity to the offset, right? So the harder you hit it, it goes a little later in the sample, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you see how like, you know, it's just adding these little bits of variation, right? So putting little stuff like that in the sampler really helps, but probably the one that's like going to be the most obvious, right, is if you go in to get the, I'm going to do the bubble delay trick, right?
Okay.
So put that down, take it off of sync, take the feedback, put it up there, and then you go get the max for live LFO. Well, it sometimes takes a minute.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then you map that there, and you want to basically slow it down, and then you want to map it so it's going between about 150 and about 30. Right. A little lower, a little more depth. Oh, gotta go up a little. That looks about right. And then the key is to put it on repitch mode. Right, and now oh wait, did I put that on a funny thing? What did I put that on? I gotta move that. Yeah, there we go. Turn the feedback up. Well, let's change these ones. So you hear them? I'm exaggerating the effect.
Yeah.
Right? So you can do like different things like that with the max LFO. But basically, if you like trick out your drum kit a bit so everything is moving just a little, it really makes things sound a lot less repetitive. And then also, like, I'd recommend making like some kind of fade to gray rack where you kind of like wash shit out, but in like a kind of harsh way, like kind of like the far away rack, but like a little bit harsher, right?
Oh, okay.
So I'm gonna do that now. Yeah, because the far away rack, it takes things far away. Whereas like this rack would be kind of like you're washing shit out, but you also kind of want to make it a little nasty.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna just take this, put this here. Also, never use clean on the filters, the Ableton filters. It doesn't sound really good.
Okay.
Okay, so then you can put like erosion, the amount. Right, and then if you put a reverb, but you see, it's kind of like the far away rack, but you can put other effects on it.
Yeah.
You put one of these, like the repitchy kind of delays. All right, now put that there. Okay, now I'm going to adjust the macros. Maybe not filter it all the way up on the filter. Yeah, and then you tune it so it doesn't go all like harsh or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But those things, like having a couple racks like that, they really help to give a bit more movement as well. And then you can kind of like wash things out as you come into your build-ups or your outros or whatever. They really help with transitions. And, you can kind of tune the racks like in your own way. But start listening for those kinds of effects in tracks by like EPROM or like G Jones or any of that whole kind of school. And you'll notice that they have these kind of signature techniques like that they do, where they've made their racks or their channel strips or whatever that are for doing that sort of thing. And if you have just like a couple of these things programmed in your library that you can reuse and make better from track to track, it'll really help to give your shit, like it'll make your transitions work a bit better. B, it'll make your tracks sound more finished when it's just like a kit and a simple riff or two. And then C, it'll help you to kind of like do transitions and build ups and stuff like that that'll make things just sound a little bit more complete. One other thing, you'll notice here how this peaks out really hard. You see how it gets loud? Right, so I sometimes go like that. That's great. Okay. So that takes the volume down.
Okay.
Right, so that'll stop it from peaking out if you notice it's peaking out. So you can make it do a chain volume too. But yeah, so just make like a really sweet macro that you can use to just like do build-ups or transitions or whatever, where it's just doing a bunch of shit. But melty delays, reverbs, erosion, bit reduction, and like you can use effects that are not just the built-in Ableton ones too. But yeah, I would definitely recommend like tricking your kit out a little bit more like that, so that there's just like a little bit more of these variations and like ramps and things will really help to make these beats sound a bit more complete, you know? Because if you just had like some of those effects coming into your build-up, and then I showed you the drop rack, right?
Nah.
Okay, so the drop rack you put on your main, you put on your master, right? And the idea is that a lot of the time when you're coming into a drop, there will be, oh here, I'll get a turn screen share now. A lot of time when you're coming into a drop, there will be too much volume and width, because like a lot of time your build-up has a lot of sounds in it and your drop has very few sounds.
Yeah.
And your build-up will have tons of like hi-hats and machine gun snare drums and hand claps and whatever, and white noise risers, and then your drop has not as much stuff in the high end. So it can kind of like come off a little flat, right? So what you do is you make a macro where you macro the width and the gain, and you make it go from 0 to like -3 and from 100 to 80. And then you can also kind of sometimes make a baby far away rack where you put a oh wait, that's good. Take that off. So put a high pass, low pass. And then we'd want EQ1 to go from like 30 to like, let's say 200. And then here would be from that to like that. So you just want to take a little bit off the high and low. And the idea is for it to be like barely noticeable. And then in the range view, when you're coming into your drop, like let's say your drop happens here at 17, right? And I'll put this here. Come on. There we go. Yeah, so it's there, right? So then basically what you do is you'd have this ramp up as you come into the drop. Oops. Let's see.
Oh.
Okay, so you know, coming into the drop, right? This guy would be slowly going away.
Okay.
So it kind of slowly goes away and creeps the volume down, creeps the width down and everything. And then when it drops in, it suddenly seems full again because it was missing the extremes, right? Because you know the extremes are like the wide, the high, and the low.
Yeah.
Right? So if you take away the 3 extremes in the mix very slowly, so you no longer have very wide sounds, you no longer have very high sounds, and you no longer have very low sounds, right?
Genius.
Then when the 3 extremes pop back in, it makes your drop a little harder,
Yeah.
right? So
That's dope.
if you do that, and then you could also like do like, you know, put a ramp on here. Does that ramp also sound cool?
Is it audio?
Yeah, I'll put this up a little to like minus.
Yeah.
If you can hear, I'll put a limiter on too on the master, just so you can kind of hear what's going on a little better. But even when you limit it, right, it like this change in the volume manifests as a change in the way that. You know, so those kinds of subtle, like little, just like little bits of movement, you know, and if you add like little bits of movement like that, it can make things that are simple sound like way less simple and sound like way more finished. Because a lot of the time it sounds kind of whack when like you have this really fucking dope simple groove and then you just start putting in too much obvious shit. You know, that's like too many new sounds, too much like switchy, like crazy shit happening. Sometimes, and I think for your music especially, like, you know, you kind of don't want to fuck with the simplicity of it. Like, it just sounds good, simple, and it makes the beats dope and easy to dance to. But yeah, just adding little bits of movement with the round robining inside of the drum kit with the ramps, with those like you know, big sweep effects, like kind of fade to gray type things, or you know, some kind of melt sweep that you can have. Putting the LFO with the bubble delays, and then the drop rack, and I think it'll really make that drop work.
All right, cool.
Word. Any other questions here?
Oh, I guess about the EP. For your first EP, do you have any collabs on there? Like,
Yeah, you can have collabs if you want. Yeah, totally.
All right, I was just wondering, like, what your opinion
It gets super dope. Like, it's just got to be fucking dope. That's the main thing. People got to be like, damn, this is like a bold move, you know?
Yeah. No, I feel that. All right.
Yeah, and I mean, you got to just like, you got to make tracks that like people want to play all the time, you know, that are like bangers. Like, just look at the ones that got the most plays on SoundCloud of your tracks, and basically be like, okay, you know, there's something about this one more than the other ones that made people really excited. Like, what can I do that's going to make them excited like that again? And then make something that's new that is going to be more exciting, you know, than any of the tracks that you've made so far. And make it so, you know, just make it really dope, and try and make too many tracks. You don't want to have only 4 tracks and then those are the 4 on the EP. You want to have like 10 tracks and then Okay, so just try and make like shit that people are gonna go crazy about. You know, like, you can have some deep cuts on there, but you know, you need to have some fucking heat.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Lots of love, man. Talk to you soon.
All right. See you later.